There's quite a bit to learn about the Costco food court beyond what you can see on the menu board. These are some of the secrets only the Costco pros know.
Thanks to its 750 locations and $1 billion annual food court sales, Costco is frequently cited as one of the nation's biggest pizza chains. Sure, the retail giant's ridiculously inexpensive $1.50 hot dog and soda deal gets all the attention, but Costco is a real pizza contender. In fact, according to Business Insider, the company ranked as the 14th largest pizza chain in 2015. Not too shabby for a warehouse store. But what is it that makes Costco's pizza so irresistible? Let's break it down. If you've ever ordered a slice of Costco pizza, you know that it is massive, like hang off the edges of your paper plate massive. And that giant slice will only set you back a measly $1.99, whether you choose cheese, pepperoni, or a combo. A major factor in what makes Costco pizza great is that they do not skimp on toppings. And you know that each slice you get will be fully loaded, no matter what you order or who's making it. One Costco supervisor bragged on Quora, saying, "We never shortcut the ingredients. Everything is measured to a standard. Every Costco pizza you get should have the same amount of sauce, cheese, and toppings." So, how do they manage to ensure that each and every pie is so perfect? In a word, robots. The dough is placed onto a machine that effortlessly presses the blob into a nice even circle, guaranteeing that it's not overworked. We'll call that robot number 1. After that, Costco food court workers only have to stretch the dough the littlest bit to make it fit the pan before rolling it with a dough docker. This spiky contraption helps ensure that the finished crust doesn't have those huge air bubbles. Now comes the best part. Robot number 2. The all-important sauce robot. The pizza pan takes a spin under a spigot that perfectly sauces every pie, dispensing just the right amount each time. It's a magical sight and explains why every Costco pie has the same mouth-watering appearance and consistency. After that, it's back to the humans for the finishing touches, where the cheese gets weighed precisely on a scale and the prescribed amount of pepperoni gets placed just so. Because these pizzas are cooked in only 6 minutes, thanks to super efficient conveyor belt ovens that cook from all sides, you can always expect a fresh slice waiting for you at the food court window. In fact, that same supervisor confirms that any pizza slice that doesn't sell within the hour gets tossed out and replaced with a new one to maintain freshness. If there's one widespread knock on Costco pizza, it's that the slices lack crispness. But really, how can you expect a pizza that's loaded with 24 ounces of cheese to stay super crisp? You heard that right. According to the Costco Connection, a cheese pizza from Costco contains 1.5 pounds of aged buttery cheeses and 10-month aged shredded Parmesan. A pepperoni pie, meanwhile, boasts 60 thin slices of spicy meat, and a combo weighs in at almost 4.5 pounds thanks to all the sausage, pepperoni, green bell peppers, red onion, mushrooms, and black olives. A slight lack of crispness in exchange for that kind of toppings extravaganza seems like a fair trade. Wondering how all that cheese and meat stacks up when it comes to calorie count? Depending on which slice you choose, you're looking at 710 to 760 calories, with total fat hovering around 30 grams each, approximately half of your daily intake, and saturated fat content weighing in around 65 to 70% of your recommended daily value. But hey, you're also getting up to 40 grams of protein just for chowing down on an amazing slice of pizza. So there's that. The bottom line is that Costco pizza in all its greasy, cheesy glory isn't meant to be diet food. It's just meant to taste good, and it does. The food court at Costco offers a full menu of cheap, filling, and dare we say, really good food. But if you've never dined at Costco, there are a few things you should know ahead of time to help maximize the experience. If you find yourself standing in a long checkout line at Costco, you may feel discouraged by the prospect of having to wait in yet another line just to place an order at the food court. After all, after you've waited to put $400 worth of spaghetti sauce onto your battered and broken debit card, the notion of repeating the whole process just to add another $1.50 to your tally can seem discouraging. Fortunately, there's a solution. If you know what you plan to order at the food court, you can politely ask your cashier in the warehouse store to add your food items to your main order. Then you can march over with your receipt and show it to whomever's working the counter at the food court. Just like that, you've got a full stable of bulk pantry items and a delicious ready-to-eat hot dog all in one transaction, without risking further injury to your card-swiping hand. If you think a stop at the Costco food court could be part of a commitment to a healthy lifestyle, you're probably barking up the wrong tree. The pizza is pretty much comically bad for you. So is Costco's signature chicken bake, which is basically a Hot Pocket-esque mashup of chicken breast and bacon, all bound together by rivers of melted cheese and Caesar salad dressing. Costco doesn't publish the nutritional information for its food court items online, though they do offer printouts in person. In terms of total calories per serving, Spoon University has identified the pepperoni pizza, hot turkey and provolone sandwich, and the chicken bake as the worst offenders. A single slice of pepperoni pizza clocks in at 710 grease-soaked calories, which elevates a snack into full meal territory pretty quickly. The hot turkey and provolone sandwich comes in at 730 calories, which is quite a lot for a post-shopping lunch. Somehow, the chicken bake is even worse, carrying a calorie load of 770, which is a pretty sizable portion of what the average person should eat in an entire day.
Pizza! Pizza, pizza, going tummy, me so hungry, me so hungry.
While the wait time for a slice of Costco pizza may be incredibly short, that's not always the case for an entire pie. There have to be slices ready for that long line of pizza fans, meaning there's not always an entire extra pie to spare. But if you don't want to wait around for your pizza to cook, you can game the system somewhat by ordering ahead of time and planning your day around your pizza. That's pretty much how most of us are living our lives anyway. As reported by Taste of Home, Friday and Saturday nights tend to be prime pizza time at Costco. During these evenings, customers can expect at least a 20 to 30-minute wait for pizza. But if you swing by the food court before you do the rest of your shopping, you can place your order and have it bubbling away in the oven while you pick up everything else on your shopping list. If you time it just right, you'll be biting into your first slice after you've finished walking through the aisles. At most Costco's, you can even call ahead and place your order over the phone, ensuring a pizza that's hot, fresh, and ready when you are. Costco famously sells just a few different kinds of pizza. There's plain cheese, pepperoni, and the combo pie that consists of pepperoni, bell peppers, onions, olives, sausage, and mushrooms. But what if you wanted extra cheese, or a half-and-half pie with pepperoni only on one side, or a combo with no onions, or extra mushrooms? For the most part, the Costco food court will try to work with you to accommodate your requests. When it comes to extra toppings, this seems to be left to the whims and attitude of whomever is preparing your pizza, according to a Costco employee who dished on Reddit. It apparently depends on how busy the store is and how easygoing the managers and supervisors are. But some requests may just be a bridge too far. For example, whatever you do, don't try to ask for that combo pizza with no onions. Many Costco food courts insist that their vegetable blends are pre-mixed, which would make leaving just one ingredient out practically impossible. Costco hot dogs are custom manufactured into quarter-pound, high-quality behemoths that can satisfy even the hungriest of customers. Adding a fountain soda brings the total cost of the combo up to a scant $1.50, which is mere change when you compare it to other fast food meals. And this isn't just a great value, it's also delicious. Unlike the typical boiled-to-death wieners you might expect from a gas station, the Costco hot dog is an impressive, meaty sausage with lots of smoky notes reminiscent of a backyard barbecue. It bears more than a passing resemblance to a kielbasa, but without all of the gnarly nuggets of fat and gristle you'd find in a more coarsely ground smoked sausage. The all-beef hot dog isn't the only reason why this snack is so delicious, as the bun represents the gold standard in hot dog vessel technology. It's almost impossibly soft, but its most impressive feature is its ability to withstand the onslaught of as many toppings as good judgment allows you to add. No matter how much mustard, ketchup, or relish you squirt on, the bun never breaks down, gets soggy, or falls apart. It's something pretty close to magic, and all that for $1.50.
The hot dog and drink are a fantastic deal at $1.50, same price they've been for 30 years.
When it comes to maxing out your ratio between highest possible number of calories and lowest possible price, additional toppings can make all the difference between a meal that will leave you full for the rest of the afternoon and one that will have you scrounging for crumbs in your car a few minutes after eating. At Costco, there are more opportunities for free additional toppings than you may think, even in the case of the humble hot dog. In addition to the ketchup, mustard, and sweet pickle relish that you can apply as you see fit, many Costco locations also have some extra options tucked away behind the counter. These include diced raw onions and a vat of sauerkraut that's all free for the asking. Just like that, your standard issue hot dog has been transformed into a smorgasbord of additional texture, briny flavor, and those all-important extra calories without adding extra cost.
That's an all-beef hot dog. I'm fairly certain that that cow had a very high quality of life.
While pizza and hot dogs are available everywhere and universally awesome, you may find you start to get a little tired of them every now and then. Luckily, it turns out that Costco food court menus may vary a little bit by location. While Costco food courts always carry their stable standard offerings, many also add an extra item or two to try and incorporate a little local flavor into their menus. For example, Canadian Costco's often feature crispy chicken wings, bargain priced at just $6.99 for 10 wings. They've also got a take on French Canadian poutine, which consists of French fries soaked in cheese curds and brown gravy. Some California locations feature the al pastor salad, which costs $4.99 and comes loaded with chopped romaine, fresh vegetables, and a soy-based protein spiked with Mexican seasonings. And if you love chicken teriyaki, you can even find that at some Costco's, though you'll probably have to visit a location in Japan to do it. When hunger hits, nobody wants to be confronted by the sight of a mile-long line outside a Costco food court. After all, when you're hungry, waiting even a few extra minutes can seem like an eternity. But instead of rage tweeting about it, consider the fact that long lines at Costco can often translate into fresher, better, hotter food. It makes sense if you think about it. When lines are long, it means that more food is getting turned over more quickly, which makes it less likely that you'll end up with a slice of pizza that was prepared hours before or a chicken bake that's past its prime. There's no need to even ask employees to make sure your order is fresh.
I feel like I know you well enough to know your mind is blown right now.
That was really good.
You haven't been this happy since your wedding day.
Cold churros are a major bummer. Nobody wants an old hot dog, and a chicken bake whose insides have congealed into a rubbery mass can ruin your whole day. But at the Costco food court, unlike many notable fast food establishments, you don't have to accept your bad luck by choking down your tepid meal and hoping for a better experience next time. As it turns out, that's just not the Costco way. At Costco, food court employees want you to have a good experience, so they'll happily offer a replacement for any less than fresh, subpar items at no additional cost. Just remember that when requesting a replacement, that the people who work in the service industry are human beings just like the rest of us. Thus, scoring an extra helping of please and thank you can work wonders for greasing the wheels on scoring some piping hot fresh food. That's something to keep in mind at any dining establishment, but it might just be especially true at Costco.
Have you ever really, truly had the full be-all-end-all Costco experience if you've never ordered one of the chain's iconic food court hot dogs? Here's everything you need to know about the $1.50 snack. The warehouse retailer built its cult-like following by selling high-quality products at low prices. And perhaps the most quintessential example of that business model is Costco's Kirkland Signature hot dogs. You can buy the famous Franks in huge packs in the meat section, or, as already mentioned, famously grab one with a steamed bun and a soda at the food court for $1.50. It's a price that's set in stone, thanks to founder Jim Sinegal.
At one point, there's a story where the co-founder told the CEO to never change the price.
According to a report from Insider, that's a tame version of what Sinegal told CEO Craig Jelinek. Jelinek told the audience at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon that Sinegal's exact words were, "If you raise the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out." So what's the secret to the flavor and price of the famous Costco hot dogs? Well, Costco makes the dogs themselves at their own Kirkland meat processing factories, which keeps costs down and allows them to maintain taste and quality year after year. While a lot of Costco's private label products are made by other brands and packaged with in-house labeling, Costco also maintains its own food manufacturing supply chain for products that are bestsellers. Even though it's a fun game for shoppers to guess which big company makes a certain product, when it comes to the signature hot dog, it's a total in-house operation. It's understandable that if you've never had a hot dog at Costco, you might not get what all the hype is about. But as any Frank lover knows, not all dogs are created equal. The Kirkland dogs are made with 100% USDA inspected beef and contain no fillers, byproducts, or corn syrup. The hot dogs in question are also comparatively huge, clocking in at almost 4 ounces each. Plus, the hot dogs are bun length, so you'll get a bite of meat with every bite of bread. Indeed, Costco's hot dogs are so popular that according to Business Insider, the company sold 151 million of them in 2019 alone. And that number only counts the hot dogs sold in Costco food courts, not in retail packages at Costco warehouses. That's $226.5 million in revenue just in hot dogs for a single year. As previously mentioned, a lot of Costco's Kirkland products are made by other larger companies. And for a long time, the company's hot dogs were made by Hebrew National, although they were sold under their brand name. As you may have already guessed, that's not the case anymore. So what exactly changed, and how, and why? According to Costco Connection, the company's in-house magazine, Hebrew National was the go-to choice for Costco's food court hot dogs from the time the company started selling them in 1984 until 2008. However, as Costco grew, kosher meat suppliers decreased in number, and the price of Hebrew National's products went up accordingly. As a solution, the company then made the executive decision to make its own dogs in order to keep costs down. In order to do this in a cost-effective manner, Costco bought a meat processing factory in California. And in short, the gamble looks like it paid off. Costco now operates multiple meat processing facilities in the U.S., where in addition to hot dogs, they make a number of other products, including raw and cooked hamburger patties, meatballs, and other meat department favorites. As this meat-related production and expansion would suggest, Costco's hot dogs have only grown in popularity since the switch, along with a slew of loyal, die-hard fans. As one fan on Reddit claimed, "I'm now a hot dog snob because of them. No ballpark or Oscar Mayer for me. I want those Kirkland hot dogs." Now that you know all about what goes into the famous Franks, grab a jumbo pack for your next backyard party and be a barbecue hero. Or reward yourself and stop by the food court on your next trip to the warehouse retailer for a taste. After all, they'll always be $1.50.
A glorified Hot Pocket, a milkshake masquerading as a caffeinated pick-me-up, and a sandwich with over 1,700 milligrams of sodium. We're diving into the unhealthiest Costco food court orders, and warning, you'll never look at these the same way again.
Wow, well, thank you for the hot dog.
Oh, Martha, it was $1.50. Thank you for spending time with me.
As a lean animal food source, chicken is favored over red meat for its high protein content and lower saturated fat count. Therefore, any product that includes chicken in the recipe must be a healthy option, right? Nope. Not when it comes in the form of an oh-so-delicious, but not terribly nutritious Costco chicken bake. This faux burrito is essentially a Hot Pocket, nearly a loaf of bread rolled around chunks of chicken swimming in creamy cheese sauce with a little extra cheese toasted on the outside for good measure. While there's no denying the chicken bake tastes amazing, the micronutrients it delivers to your physiology are an entirely different story. In the same way you wouldn't consider a calzone healthy eating, you should consider a chicken bake a dietary mistake. This single-serving culinary log contains 769 calories and 25 grams of fat. The sodium count is a heart-stopping 2,310 milligrams, otherwise known as more than the FDA-recommended daily allowance of 2,300 milligrams. You'd be better off heading back into the store, buying a whole rotisserie chicken, and making something a whole lot healthier once you get home. Nutritionally speaking, this chicken bake is for the birds. Pizza never tops anyone's list of mindful dining, so naturally it joins our lineup of unhealthy Costco fast food items. Portion size can sometimes help make enjoying a slice or two a workable option. But as with all things Costco, the bigger the better, though in this case, being bigger means being an epically bad nutrition decision. Set aside the prospect of enjoying something delicious for a phenomenal price, the dietary trouble of these inexpensive eats is a pie chart filled with poor choices, no matter how you slice it. If you stick with a single slice of basic cheese pizza, you'll be packing away 700 calories and 28 grams of fat. You also get 44 grams of protein protein, a small consolation in a sea of greasy disappointment. Carb watchers will have a hard time digesting the 70 grams of total carbs, too. As bad as that seems, try doubling those numbers by committing to a slice duet, and you can see how quickly the counts get out of hand. Now, imagine taking home an entire pie, and it becomes much easier to see why pizza is not your friend at the Costco food court carnival. Not even close. Nothing made of crispy fried dough and visibly encrusted in sugar should even be mentioned in a discussion about nutrition, unless it's to lend contrast to actually healthy food. These crispy wands of circus-style pastry magic may be delicious to the max, but they're nutritious to the min, offering no dietary value whatsoever. So while you may be drawn in by that phenomenal cinnamon scent like a cartoon character drawn to a freshly baked pie, you're in for a world of hurt with your nutritionist if you follow the impulse and down one of these horizontal donuts. How bad is bad when it comes to churro nutrition facts? It's so bad that it's 530 calories, 21 grams of fat, and 25 grams of sugar. In comparison to that tally sheet, a Dunkin' Donut generally contains about 270 calories, 12 grams of fat, and 15 grams of sugar. Essentially, you're eating a double Dunkin' when you snap into a churro. It's obviously a dessert meant more for entertainment than for healthy snacking, but the physiological setback is entirely avoidable if you just keep walking after your shopping is done.
Another great sundae, and not too rough on the old pocketbook.
The hypnotic appeal of watching a swirling soft serve spiral down into a cup or cone is enough to mesmerize Costco shoppers into snatching up a snack whether they want one or not. And if you've seen the size of the colossal cones that catch the creamy concoction, you know that the Statue of Liberty's torch is only slightly larger. The quantity of food alone is cause for pause, even if the contents were full-blown health food. Knowing you've got the equivalent of a small dairy wrapped in a flattened cookie should clue you in on the dearth of nutritional love you're getting every time you swirl up to the counter. Every cone is its own creation, thanks in part to the creator serving it up. The gist of the nutrition knowledge you need: a Costco soft serve cone shows up with 510 calories, 16 grams of fat, and 39 grams of sugar. Numbers will vary depending on the generosity of your server, which means you're in for an even less healthy time if they top you off with extra curl on the swirl. The count includes the cone, so at least you're not paying an extra penalty for that. Nutrition isn't a food-only consideration at the Costco food station. Beverages are a big part of the experience, especially when they come in sizable 20-ounce refillable portions. Usually, your bubbly beverage is a ride-along with the food you purchase, which means an extra concentrated dose of questionable dietary consumption is in the cards. Of course, there are soda selections that can trim the gristle and bring you in at no additional calories or sugar. They typically include the words diet or zero somewhere in their titles, making for a mightier choice nutrition-wise. But setting the option of sugar-free soda aside, let's focus on the sugar-inclusive stuff and see what's what. How flexible is the health quotient of a fountain drink that contains nearly double a single can serving of bubbly beverage? It depends entirely on the lever you press. Different sodas will have varying amounts of calories and sugar, but if you use a full-sugar 20-ounce Pepsi as the test substance, you'll be drinking 250 calories and taking in 68 grams of sugar, all from a refreshment that's washing down an equally unhealthy dish. Compare this to a regular-sized 12-ounce can of Pepsi, which carries 150 calories and 41 grams of sugar, and you're doing almost twice the damage to your system that you would with a more standard soda experience. Loaded with fantastic protein, the barbecue beef brisket might sound like one of the healthier orders you can make during your Costco visit. Indeed, studies have shown brisket to have high concentrations of healthy oleic acid, a helper chemical in the fight against bad cholesterol. But anyone who's sunk their teeth into a juicy brisket in any form knows the fabulous flavor comes from a fair quantity of fat in the meat. This is a sure indicator that you won't be eating healthily at the Costco food station by ordering up a mega mound of beef on bread, even with the oleic acid in tow. What do you get inside the foil wrapper where nutrition is concerned? A bullish 710 calories with 33 grams of fat riding shotgun, 11 of which are saturated. The 28 grams of protein might almost make it worth taking a chance on the less healthy elements ruining your blood chemistry. However, if you can skip this tricky brisket, you'll be doing yourself a favor in the long run. No matter how exciting the idea of a food court barbecue sandwich might seem or smell. Starbucks thought they'd cornered the market on frozen coffee drinks. Then Costco started serving up its delicious Mocha Freeze, and the Seattle super chain knew it had competition. Maybe not direct or significant competition, but competition nonetheless. Adding a coffee shop confection to its luscious listing meant anyone needing a little pick-me-up after coasting through the oversized aisles could catch a buzz on the way out. After all, you've had a hard hour or two of resisting the oversized holiday decorations while shopping for your enormous quantities of ketchup. That sort of determination deserves a prize in the form of a mocha-fied slush. Or perhaps you deserve something healthier? The reality of a Mocha Freeze is that you're getting what amounts to a milkshake made with coffee and loaded with sugar, a fact that Costco isn't trying to hide even a little bit. The nutrition facts reveal that you'll be consuming 310 calories that come with 6 grams of fat and 46 grams of sugar, more than a full day's serving on a 2,000 daily calorie diet. The story of the Mocha Freeze doesn't come with a healthy, happy ending, no matter how temporarily satisfied sipping one might make you. Rather than beverages that should be considered nutritious by default, smoothies have long since been debunked as often unhealthy options masquerading as rejuvenating potions. Case in point, the mango smoothie. Look at the gold-orange nectar glowing on the Costco menu board, and we dare you to not be drawn into its luscious tropical splendor. It's the color of sunshine, like an exotic vacation in a cup offering a sweet escape to more desirable climates someplace where the ocean dominates the landscape. What it really is, though, is a heavy-duty dose of high-calorie sugar blended into a slushy pulp that hits your bloodstream with an insulin-spiking rush that inevitably ends in a crash that leaves you deserted on an island of nutritional misery.
Leslie?
Yeah.
Let's get some almonds in you, okay?
Okay.
So just how not cool is this frosty treat? It's enough to chill your blood. The 16-ounce cup holds an icy 360 calories, which might not be the worst if it wasn't due to a brain-freezing 78 grams of sugar they all come from. If you think you're getting vitamins and minerals along with that, think again. You'll have 1% of your daily calcium and 4% of your daily magnesium to compensate for the syrup slop sloshing around in your veins, making this one rough smoothie. Shove over, Subway. Costco has a hot turkey and provolone sandwich that keeps shoppers satisfied. The Wily Witch features layers of better-than-deli slices lying beneath a melty spread of cheese, all served on a toasted ciabatta roll. It certainly sounds hearty and filling, and turkey is a healthy white meat touted as a fine replacement for red meat cold-cut options. So is this a deceptively unhealthy dish, a nutritional wolf dressed in poultry clothing, or is it an honest-to-goodness healthful choice among a menu filled with bad decisions? Sadly, this sandwich comes with wolf teeth and a bad attitude regarding mindful eating. There are 740 calories in this bread-based behemoth, containing 39 grams of fat and 51 grams of carbs. You do get a considerable 45 grams of protein too, but that win is crossed out by the 1,710 milligrams of sodium included. Rather than thinking you're making a smooth move for your nutrition by downing one of these bad boys on your own, share it with a friend and split the difference. At least you won't be taking in as much of the bad stuff.
That sandwich was the only good thing going on in my life.
While most everything the Costco food court sells is utterly delicious, it's their pizza that's tops. Starting from an unassuming ball of dough, adding in a few handy robots, and ending with that ginormous finished product, here's exactly how Costco pizza is made. Good dough is the foundation of any great pizza, which is why Costco puts so much effort into every detail of their dough. First, they purchase the dough from a Brooklyn-based pizza distributor who delivers the authentic New York-style dough fresh daily. Then, Costco employees utilize a special dough squishing contraption to flatten the dough ball into a perfectly shaped crust. And finally, workers go over the dough with a unique tool called a dough docker, which pops any air bubbles in the dough to ensure it bakes evenly. No wonder the crust is so delicious. After all that care they put into crafting the pizza, you just know Costco is going to use a special pan too. Costco uses pizza pans with holes, otherwise known as perforated pans, and these holes allow the crust to bake up crispier thanks to two things. One, rather than solid metal grabbing all the heat, the holes ensure that it transfers directly to the crust. Two, the holes allow moisture to escape out the bottom rather than sog up the crust, and lets the entire thing cook evenly. Plus, as an added bonus, pizzas baked on perforated pans cook faster, and when the pizza is this good, who wants to wait? Costco doesn't just use special pans though, they also use robots. We know what you're thinking. Robots?
What the f does that have to do with pizza?
But it's true. Once the pizza dough is squished and docked, the prepared pan gets placed onto a special sauce robot. At the push of a button, the contraption spins the pan around and spits out sauce in a very precise stream as its arm moves towards the center of the pie. The result is a kind of spin art effect on the dough, and while it's mesmerizing to watch, the reality is that the robot not only ensures that just the right amount of sauce is on each and every pizza, it also ensures that the right amount of sauce is equally distributed. Sure, it will inevitably lead to humanity's doom, but that's a small price to pay for good pizza. If you've ever ordered a whole Costco pie, you've probably noticed it can be a bit oily, but there's no oil robot to blame. Instead, according to one Reddit expert, Costco instructs employees to use a lot. The only thing that concerns me is how much oil gets used in the process of making a pizza skin, the stretched out and sauced pizza dough. Too much. And when you don't use the corporate requested amount because you think it's too much and corporate notices, you use more oil to avoid being in trouble. Some managers overcompensate and use a quarter cup of oil plus when making them.
This whole damn thing was about oil.
Now that we've got the crust and the sauce and some oil, it's time for the good stuff, the toppings, and Costco doesn't skimp. If you order the combo, you'll get Italian sausage, pepperoni, and a medley of sliced green bell peppers, red onions, mushrooms, and black olives, and a lot of each. A whole combo pizza weighs in at an incredible 4.49 pounds. Then there's the pepperoni, which gets decked out with 60 slices of pepperoni per pie. And the cheese, made with a combination of low-fat mozzarella, provolone, and 10-month-aged shredded Parmesan. A single cheese pizza includes a whopping 1.5 pounds of cheese alone. Wow. One thing you never have to worry about when you grab a slice from the Costco food court is that you're going to be cheated on the portion. And that's because the food court employees use a handy-dandy cutting guide that ensures every slice is exactly the same. Considering each pie is absolutely massive, you know that after the cutting is done, you're also going to be getting a massive slice, 1/6 of an 18-inch pizza to be exact. Just more proof that Costco has every aspect of the pizza making process down, even something as simple as how best to cut it. With all those gadgets and doodads, Costco has their pizza making down to a science. Starting with a ball of dough, employees can make the crust, sauce it, and add the toppings all in about 75 seconds flat. And even the oven has been optimized for performance, with conveyors zipping pizzas through at just the perfect temperature. All told, from start to finish, a Costco pizza takes under 8 minutes to make. And that's part of why their pizzas are always fresh. One Reddit expert revealed that the company never serves leftovers, saying, "Everything leftover is tossed after we roll the door at night and made fresh in the morning." And during the day, one Costco supervisor wrote on Quora, "Any pizza slice that doesn't sell within the hour gets thrown out and replaced to maintain freshness." Great pizza made at light speed by robots? Turns out we're living in the future right now, and it's delicious.
It's not every day that the CEO of a major company makes a death threat, but that wasn't even the most controversial thing to happen in the world of Costco. While shopping at Costco stores has always required a membership, certain services at the stores have been historically open to the public. These include the pharmacy, the alcohol department in select states, and the food court. However, as of March 16, 2020, the store's corporate policy now requires you to have an active Costco membership in order to dine at the food court. Apparently, eating at the food court has always technically required a membership, even though the company had not previously enforced this policy. To make the matter even more confusing, some Costco locations still aren't enforcing the members-only protocol to this date. In response to an inquiry from Business Insider, a customer service associate at an East Coast Costco noted that some stores have become more lenient on the policy. While this is an issue that primarily affects non-members, it also inconveniences members, since they now have to keep their Costco cards on them even when they don't plan on going into the store that day. Previously, anyone could walk up to one of the indoor or outdoor food court locations and place an order, but now some locations will ask to scan your membership card before serving you. While the cheap hot dog and drink combo has been a staple of the Costco food court since the first Costco hot dog stand opened in 1984, its beloved counterpart, the Polish dog, has not had the same staying power. It's unclear when the Polish dog was first added to the menu, but both styles of sausage were available until 2018, when the company announced that the Polish dog was getting the axe. The news was poorly received by the public. This menu change came partially out of an attempt to create a healthier menu. Costco tried to fill the gap with healthy items like an Açaí bowl and a plant-based protein salad, but both of these items have since been discontinued, just like the Polish dog. Considering that the only two differences between the hot dog and the Polish dog were that the latter had a slightly different spice mix and a more kielbasa-like shape, it is somewhat surprising that the general public was so outraged by its retirement. But Costco seems to cause controversy every time it removes an item from its limited menu. Few corporate feuds run as deep as the rivalry between Coke and Pepsi loyalists. That's why there was proverbial blood in the streets when Pepsi replaced Coca-Cola as Costco's primary beverage vendor.
No Coke, Pepsi.
Former Costco VP of Food Services, Alan Bubbitts, noted at the time that the change was made to maintain the low combo price. But this didn't stop diehard Coca-Cola enthusiasts from taking up arms on social media, with one Twitter user writing, "Still can't forgive Costco for taking Coke out of the food court and replacing it with Pepsi. I don't think I ever will." At the end of the day, the issue probably didn't deter many customers from ordering the hot dog and drink combo. After all, it's still a great deal, even if you throw your beverage cup right in the trash. But again, it is warranted for the fee-paying Costco members to be outraged when they can no longer guzzle their soft drink of choice while they shop in the warehouse. When Costco first released its roast beef sandwich in February 2023, people were livid about the price. Although a $10 sandwich wouldn't be considered that unreasonable at an ordinary restaurant, many customers were outraged because of how it's priced compared to other items on the menu. The only Costco food court item that compares in price is a whole 18-inch pizza. And considering the pizza could reasonably feed a family of 4, the math definitely doesn't add up. $10 is enough to buy 6 hot dog and drink combos with change back. The company also charged lower prices for comparable roast beef sandwiches in its Japanese and Korean locations. This further exacerbated the feeling customers had that they were being insulted by the uncharacteristically high price of this new item. And to make matters worse, the sandwich was served cold, so it required even less prep time than other options.
A baby food smoothie? A fancy dessert that might have been too fancy? These foods didn't just flop at Costco. One might have pissed off an entire state.
I like the Costco food court.
Even a hardcore Costco enthusiast may be surprised to hear that Costco at one point sold a cheeseburger. That's because it was only tested in Seattle and a handful of other stores starting in 2017. It lasted until 2020, when the Costco Corporation announced without explanation that the cheeseburger would no longer be served. So where did things go wrong for the Costco cheeseburger? It all started when early reviewers compared the burger to that of the beloved New York hamburger franchise, Shake Shack. It is uncertain exactly who made this comparison first, but it did no favors for this experimental menu item. Some reviews hyper-focused on the comparison. They criticized the burger for not matching Shake Shack's delicate smash burger-style patties, and instead smothering the eater with too much meat. One user on Instagram shared their thoughts in a 2018 post, writing, "The Costco next to my house sells cheeseburgers. It's supposed to be a Shake Shack clone, not even close." To top things off, the cheeseburger did not appear to have been tested alongside French fries on any menus. An unusual choice, considering that some Costco food court locations have sold French fries. In the end, it's hard to say exactly what sounded the death knell for Costco's organic cheeseburger, but it did not live up to the hype. There is no match for the rich and complex flavor of traditional al pastor. The smoky heat of chili peppers and the subtle sweetness of pineapple partner perfectly with tender pork shoulder. That's probably why the vegan al pastor salad never gained any traction on the Costco food court menu. Not only did its healthy plant-based protein disappoint omnivorous patrons, but it also frustrated those expecting authentic Mexican flavors. The salad was made from soy al pastor, chopped romaine lettuce, black beans, olives, dressing, and so-called banh mi vegetables. The banh mi vegetables were an unusual addition and a source of complaints from certain shoppers who weren't expecting Asian-style vegetables or olives in what should be a Mexican-style dish. Ultimately, the reviews for this salad were mixed, even from vegans who barely had other options in the food court. According to reports on Reddit, the al pastor salad was discontinued sometime around 2018. Employees cited poor sales as the reason for its demise. Whether or not this was because it was made from imitation meat is hard to say for certain, but it is mostly vegans who seem to be asking for its return. The Costco Açaí Bowl may be the most disliked menu item in the history of the discount warehouse's food court. It was added to the menu in 2018 to increase the number of healthy dining options, and then discontinued shortly after in 2020. While it did collect some fans in its 2-year run, the majority of consumers either tried it once and moved on, or never found a compelling reason to order it in the first place. In retrospect, the issue with the Açaí Bowl may be that it didn't fit in with the rest of Costco's core menu. It was not quite sweet enough to replace dessert options like the hand-dipped ice cream bars.
and not quite filling enough to replace a full meal like the chicken bake. It was also one of the more expensive menu items at $4.99. And despite being marketed as a healthy food option, it was surprisingly high in sugar, with estimates ranging between 30 grams and 41 grams of sugar. So it failed with the health food crowd, the value shoppers, and the dessert enthusiasts. Brutal reviews started rolling in right away. One Twitter user said it tasted like lush bath bombs and regret. Costco's customers clearly weren't craving the tart and earthy flavor of Açaí. Customers felt there were better options on the menu for them, so the bowl flopped hard.
Costco giving customers quite a shock with its new addition to the food court.
Costco's roast beef sandwich isn't the worst sandwich ever released by the company, but it doesn't stand a chance against the rest of the items on the food court's value-focused menu. On top of lacking in the flavor department, the sandwich also debuted at a price of $9.99. What? Customers felt downright insulted to be offered a cold sandwich with no side or beverage for the same price as a whole 18-inch Costco pizza. And although the roast beef itself is of high quality, it can't save this sandwich from its own staleness. The roast beef sandwich consisted of a large helping of sliced roast beef, topped with onion relish, lettuce, roasted cherry tomatoes, red onions, and a mayo mustard mixture served on an artisan roll. One of the biggest criticisms of the sandwich when it debuted was how dry it tasted because of the giant bread roll it was served on. Users in one Reddit thread reached a quick consensus, with one writing, "Just got one. Feels a bit too dry for me. Not getting it again." Another shared, "Looks super dry, like the Sahara." Another commenter predicted, "I don't see this sandwich being around for too long. It's very un-Costco-like." The closest thing this sandwich got to a positive review was, "I tried it today. It's decent. Definitely dry. Was large enough for 2 people. But I don't think it will stay at Costco too long." It's hard to tell if Costco simply can't get sandwiches right, or if any meat and bread related option automatically struggles to compete with the hot dog and soda combo. In either case, the Costco food court's barbecue beef brisket sandwich was never destined for greatness. Though not as expensive or dry as the roast beef sandwich, the Costco barbecue beef brisket sandwich still barely lasted 2 years before it was silently removed from food court menus nationwide. Food court goers who tried the sandwich between 2018 and 2020 seemed to love it, but that still couldn't save it from being discontinued. For a kitchen that is defined by the longevity of its most popular items, a 2-year run is the closest you can get to a Costco food court flop. It's not clear exactly why it went away. The pandemic, a desire for more healthy food court items, and simple menu turnover may have all played a role. At $4.99, the barbecue brisket sandwich was also one of the most expensive menu items at the time of its release. And ultimately, price-sensitive consumers will default back to the juggernaut, the $1.50 all-beef hot dog. The beef chili with beans is an interesting example of a Costco food court item that may have flopped for reasons other than flavor. Customers generally agreed that the chili was pretty decent and combined deliciously with the hot dog to make an impromptu chili dog. Yet it was discontinued in 2023, alongside other generally liked items such as the Caesar salad and the combo pizza. The fact that it was removed alongside other items likely had to do with maintaining the razor-thin margins at the Costco food court. However, this chili's role in some regional recipe drama could possibly have contributed to its demise. Costco's beef chili chose the losing side in the long-standing debate as to whether or not chili should contain beans. The debate is serious business to native Texans who strongly believe beans do not belong in chili. And Texas has some authority here, as chili con carne was first popularized there, and it is the state dish. One Twitter user perfectly summed up the thought process of a Texan visiting the food court with their tweet, "Ooh, Costco has chili. Never mind, it has beans." Outside of Texas, this issue likely didn't affect the general public's opinion of Costco's chili. But can you really call it a success when your chili defies the traditions of Texas? Not if it's no longer on the menu. Plus, who knows, maybe it would have ultimately succeeded if it didn't have beans.
Okay, I think I know what would help right now.
What?
Frozen chocolate gelato!
The Costco food court has served many desserts over the years, but none have been as fancy or refined as the company's gelato. And yet, it's only ever been offered at 16 different stores in the US, according to a 2010 post from the Costco Insider website. And despite a handful of positive remarks online praising the gelato, it didn't seem to be a popular purchase at the locations where it was available. Users reported quite the deal on the gelato, with 3 scoops in a waffle cone priced at just $1.50. But one Reddit user commented, "Not once did I ever see anybody actually order it." According to an account on a different Reddit thread, the dish was considered a failure long before it was pulled from stores in 2015. That said, failure in this case seems to be measured by profitability and not popularity because the customer response was overall positive. In the end, though, the affordable pricing and reliable flavor of other popular Costco desserts, like the churro or frozen yogurt, won out. If you regularly visit the Costco food court, you may be surprised to learn that it sells a mango smoothie. That's because it is currently failing hard in its limited test markets and will likely be disappearing for good soon. The mango smoothie was first tested in Australia in early 2023, then made its way to the US by way of Hawaii. It is now also sold at Costco locations in Oklahoma, Washington, and California. Don't expect to find it soon in a Costco near you if you don't live in these states, though. The early reviews are largely negative. We've seen some truly savage reviews on the Costco mango smoothie on social media, where people are simultaneously mourning the recently discontinued fruit smoothie and dissing its mango-flavored successor. The most brutal review states, "Costco's new mango smoothie is trash. The color looks weird and it tastes like baby food." It's possible that customers simply aren't accustomed to desserts without added sugar. But either way, the mango smoothie is not expected to last long at Costco stores with the kind of reception it has had.
Salad on a pizza? And what exactly is a forbidden glizzy? There's a whole lot more to Costco's food court than just pizza and hot dogs, if you're willing to get a little crazy. Considering the popularity of Costco's hot dog and pizza slices, it's not that surprising that a few curious food court fans decided to make a mashup of the two staples by wrapping a hot dog in a slice of pizza. Some people prefer to roll up the hot dog without its usual plain bun inside of the entire pizza slice. Others prefer removing all of the cheese and toppings from the pizza crust and then wrapping the hot dog in the cheesy upper layer of the pizza. Based on some online chatter, there doesn't seem to be one agreed-upon name for this gluttonous menu hack, probably because it really is so customizable. Some people who include the crust might call it a pizza taco, while the cheese-only version seems like more of a pizza dog. However, we just call it
delicious.
The Forbidden Glizzy is one of the most well-known Costco food court hacks, and also one of its most ridiculous in appearance. It's another hack that starts with the humble hot dog and the food court's popular warm chicken bake entree. The chicken bake is a piece of fried bread filled with pieces of chicken breast, 3 kinds of cheese, bacon, and creamy Caesar dressing, and resembles a calzone or a Hot Pocket. The Forbidden Glizzy is a bit of an awkward dish to make as it involves shoving a hot dog into the center of the chicken bake and eating the entire mashup like an abominable corn dog. Apparently, the chicken bake itself isn't too stuffed with fillings, so it actually isn't as difficult as one might expect to bite off the top of the dough and slide the hot dog right into the middle. It just feels a bit wrong to be eating the two items together at once, but the resulting flavor will suggest otherwise. The pizza-wrapped Forbidden Glizzy is the even more outrageous version of both of the above hacks. First, you will need to put the hot dog inside the chicken bake to make the Forbidden Glizzy as previously directed. Then, you wrap the entire chicken bake with a slice of pizza of your choice, taco style, whether it be topped with cheese or pepperoni. This one-of-a-kind mashup is nearly 2,500 calories if you wash it down with a sugary soda, so it's far from a light snack from the food court. Instead, the pizza-wrapped Forbidden Glizzy should be someone's go-to option if they end their Costco shopping excursion with an insatiable hunger, and they're having trouble deciding between ordering a hot dog, a slice of pizza, or a chicken bake. It's a hack that makes the best of all three worlds. One of the more reliable aspects of life is Costco's $5 rotisserie chicken, which remains the same price regardless of inflation or what's going on in the world around it. It's almost too easy to mindlessly throw a ready-made chicken in your cart for endless possible uses later, including updating food court items. Costco's food court pizza offerings have gotten pretty limited, especially after the retailer discontinued its popular combo pizza in recent years. If the regular cheese and pepperoni options are just too plain for your palate, the internet is full of creative ideas for updating the humble slice into something more flavorful. One easy hack is to shred a little bit of Costco's famous rotisserie chicken and put it on top of the pizza for a protein-packed slice. It's a hack best executed at home, but the rotisserie chicken isn't an odd item to whip out at the food court, especially among fellow Costco shoppers who know how great it is. Sometimes when you're shopping, you're in too much of a rush to spend some time leisurely enjoying a fresh slice of Costco pizza in the food court. Thankfully, it's not hard to take a slice to go to enjoy later, whether it be in your car or at home. Cold pizza is never a bad idea, but the best hack for making Costco pizza even better than it was the first time is to reheat it in the air fryer. It only needs a few minutes at a high temperature, around 375 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and the resulting slice is hot, melty, and delectably crispy. One Reddit user even recommends buying a whole pizza, individually freezing slices, and then reheating them in the air fryer for a quick and satisfying meal that doesn't require you to make an outing to Costco to enjoy it. Food menu hacks are always going to be controversial, but making salad pizza from Costco's menu items may be one of the most divisive on the entire list so far. A few brave souls on the internet have shared their affinity for a piece of food court pizza topped with a little pre-made salad for added freshness. The sentiment isn't bad, as pizza and salad are often eaten in tandem. It's even common to see a pie topped with fresh vegetables for added texture on pizza parlor menus. However, some people hold their pizza sacred, especially if it comes from the Costco food court, meaning that salad pizza is essentially sacrilege. Costco's food court sells a chicken Caesar salad that could easily be used in this hack, but some people prefer to buy a pre-made salad from inside the store and open it up at the food court. The Caesar might not be the most flavorful option, especially considering it's usually made with romaine lettuce. A salad with spinach or arugula as its base could be a better food court pizza topping from a flavor standpoint. The soft drink dispenser at the food court can be a saving grace for thirsty shoppers looking for a bit of refreshment. Costco's food court has exclusively been serving Pepsi products since 2013. At some of the stores, soft drink dispensers carry mug root beer. The fountain soda from Costco is always a treat, usually because of its low price and the fact that it typically comes alongside the hot dog deal, all for $1.50.
For a quarter-pound hot dog and a drink. Très bien, right?
Ordering a soda from Costco can be even more special when you get creative, like combining root beer from the soft drink machine with vanilla ice cream to make your own root beer float. All you need to do is order a vanilla ice cream cup and a large drink and combine the two. Even if the machine doesn't have mug root beer, you can always make different soda floats with Pepsi, orange soda, or Dr. Pepper, depending on the store's selection. Costco brought churros back to its food court menu following a hiatus during the COVID-19 pandemic. The revamped recipe features a twisted churro that is still just as massive as the old one and is coated with cinnamon sugar. Churros in general are always made even better when paired with other sugary dessert elements like ice cream. Churros are often served with sweet dipping sauces like caramel or hot fudge, but unfortunately, those aren't available to buy at the Costco food court. The churros are too good to save until you get home to eat with your own pantry ingredients, so there is an easy way to make the pastry a little more special right in the food court. A simple Costco menu hack is to order your ice cream sundae of choice, preferably either topped with chocolate or strawberries, and dip the fresh churro right in it. To make the monster dessert a bit easier to eat, you can rip the churro up into pieces and throw it into the sundae cup to eat with a spoon. It's a particularly successful pairing because neither the ice cream nor the churro is especially sweet. So when paired together, the resulting loaded sundae is an indulgent dessert that isn't too rich to eat in its entirety after a long day of grocery shopping. One of the Costco food court's more recent additions is the cold brew Mocha Freeze, which is a combination of cold brew coffee for a caffeine boost with an icy chocolate slushie to make it more of an indulgent treat. Some people up the ante even more by combining the massive churro with the Mocha Freeze to add a cinnamon twist to the drink. The Mocha Freeze and churro combination is almost like a more indulgent version of a Starbucks Frappuccino, but it'll only cost you around $2.50 thanks to the food court's always low prices.
As at Costco, you save money.
The Costco food court is the gift that keeps on giving, in more ways than one. It's one of the reasons so many of us shell out $60 to $120 annually for membership to the wholesale superstore. The small food court even comes in handy in underappreciated ways, such as when you need to transport perishable food on a long drive and forgot to pack a cooler to keep it fresh in the car. An easy way to hack the food court is by utilizing the ice dispenser from the soft drink machine to keep meat, seafood, and other items cold during your long car ride home. Costco doesn't have an official policy on taking ice from the soft drink dispenser to keep food purchased at their stores cold on the ride home. And many shoppers have noted that employees do not seem to discourage people from taking a little ice in a bag for the ride home, especially on a hot day when they're loading their cars with perishable items or frozen goods that are at risk of going bad during the commute. Most Costco shoppers hit the food court as their last stop on their bulk shopping trip. It can sometimes feel like a reward after a long and exhausting journey that includes pushing a cart, navigating around fellow bulk shoppers, and waiting in long checkout lines. However, die-hard Costco food court enthusiasts have learned that, contrary to popular opinion, the food court should actually be your first stop after you flash your membership card to a Costco worker. The main reason is that it's never a good idea to go grocery shopping while you're hungry. The food court snack will satisfy you enough so that you aren't making rash purchases in Costco on an empty stomach. Another perk is that you aren't bogged down with a full cart while trying to enjoy a hot dog or a slice of pizza, as the food court typically has pretty tight quarters. Additionally, you can really get a bang for your buck with a 69-cent refillable drink that you can sip on while you shop and go back for endless refills.